You're not blocked. You're just believing the wrong things about creativity. And those beliefs, they're killing your flow. There's a quiet moment that many creatives, dreamers, and deep thinkers know all too well. You sit in front of a blank canvas, a blinking cursor, a guitar, a camera, or a half-formed idea, and it just won't come. The spark, the magic, the thing you're supposed to create. And somewhere in your head, that little voice whispers, you should be better than this by now. You tell yourself to push through, to try harder, to be more inspired. And that's the exact moment you lose it. Not because you don't have what it takes, but because you're forcing it. Because you're standing in front of creativity with your arms crossed, saying, dance. But here's the thing, and stay with me until the end of this video, because this could change your entire approach to creativity. What if trying to be creative is the very thing that blocks creativity? Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, mystic at heart and visionary in shadow, once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This wasn't just about therapy. It was about the act of becoming whole. And as we'll explore in this video, becoming whole is the core of real creativity. Because creativity isn't some golden beam of light that comes down from the heavens, clean and pure and glowing. It's raw, hidden, often painful, and it's deeply human. And yet, we've built this idea, this myth that creativity must be good, that it must be shiny, that it must be worthy. What if that myth is the reason so many of us feel stuck? We'll explore Jung's radical idea of the shadow, the disowned, repressed, uncomfortable parts of ourselves, and how integrating it isn't just therapeutic, it's creative liberation. We'll talk about why letting yourself feel sadness, grief, fear, and all the messy emotions you usually shove down is actually a portal to your most profound ideas. We'll look at why believing that you have to invent something totally new is a trap and how real creativity is simply reorganizing what already exists around you. From the cup on your desk to the memory that keeps haunting you. And we'll get into the psychology of human needs. How understanding what people truly crave can spark infinite ideas for art, business, stories, and solutions. But let's not rush to the solution yet. Because the problem, it's sacred. It's where you begin. So, if you've ever felt like you're not creative enough, not original enough, or not in the mood, stay with me. What you'll discover might flip the way you think about creativity forever. Before we continue, if you're someone who loves expanding your mind and exploring the deeper layers of life, make sure to subscribe to Fractal Wisdom so you never miss a moment of insight. And yet, we've built this idea, this myth that creativity must be good, that it must be shiny, that it must be worthy. What if that myth is the reason so many of us feel stuck? We'll explore Jung's radical idea of the shadow, the disowned, repressed, uncomfortable parts of ourselves, and how integrating it isn't just therapeutic, it's creative liberation. We'll talk about why letting yourself feel sadness, grief, fear, and all the messy emotions you usually shove down is actually a portal to your most profound ideas. We'll look at why believing that you have to invent something totally new is a trap and how real creativity is simply reorganizing what already exists around you. From the cup on your desk to the memory that keeps haunting you. And we'll get into the psychology of human needs. How understanding what people truly crave can spark infinite ideas for art, business, stories, and solutions. But let's not rush to the solution yet. Because the problem, it's sacred. It's where you begin. So, if you've ever felt like you're not creative enough, not original enough, or not in the mood, stay with me. What you'll discover might flip the way you think about creativity forever. Before we continue, if you're someone who loves expanding your mind and exploring the deeper layers of life, make sure to subscribe to Fractal Wisdom so you never miss a moment of insight. There's a strange pressure that floats through the creative world like a fog we can't see but always feel. This belief that what we make has to be positive, inspiring, shiny, worthy. We want to write something that uplifts, paint something beautiful, say something wise, be someone impressive. But here's what no one really talks about. That pressure is the very thing choking our creativity. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear in public. It's who we think we're supposed to be, not who we are. And most of us, without realizing it, try to create through the persona. We sit down to write or build or imagine and unconsciously we ask, will this make me look good? Will this make them like me? Will this be good enough? And what happens next is what I call the creativity freeze. Your inner critic takes over. The wild, instinctual, chaotic parts of you, the real artists inside, go into hiding because they know they don't belong in a space where perfection is required. Carl Jung also spoke of the shadow. All the parts of ourselves we've rejected, judged, or hidden. Our sadness, our fear, our insecurity, our envy, our shame, our rage. Not only are these parts not welcome in the creativity is always positive world, they're banished. But the truth is this is where the real art lives. You want something original, something powerful, something real. Let your sadness speak. Let your fear tell its story. Let the parts of you you've buried create. Because every song that broke your heart came from heartbreak. Every film that made you cry came from grief. Every painting that made you feel something primal came from someone who didn't try to look good but dared to be honest. Let's ground this. You don't need to write the next great novel. Maybe your day was heavy. Maybe you just feel off. Even that is creative fuel. Take that fog, that ache, and let it drip out through a poem. Let your voice shake in a song. Let your journal hold a truth you were scared to say out loud. That's art. That's story. That's alchemy. And here's the beauty of it. When we allow ourselves to feel without judgment, we open the flow. The block dissolves, not because we forced ourselves to push through, but because we stopped resisting what's real. Creativity is not a performance. It's a communion with the self. And when we create from that place, not to be seen but to be felt, the work becomes something sacred, something human. You don't need to fix it or make it beautiful. You just need to make it. Let's get something straight. You are not supposed to invent something from nothing. This entire idea that creativity means being original, pulling a masterpiece out of thin air, creating the never-before-seen has done more damage to creative souls than almost any other myth. And if you've ever felt like you have to be some kind of genius, visionary, or idea machine to be considered creative, pause. Because here's a truth most people overlook. Nothing you create is truly original. And that's exactly what makes it powerful. Think about this. Your thoughts, your style, your ideas, your way of seeing the world, it's all been shaped by what you've seen, heard, felt, and experienced. That's not cheating. That's being human. Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious. A vast reservoir of shared symbols, stories, dreams, and energies that flow through all of us. We don't create from ourselves. We create through ourselves. We're channels, vessels, and filters. And creativity is about recognizing what's already around you and rearranging it in a way that feels like you. Look around you right now. Seriously, that notebook on your desk, combine it with that weird conversation you overheard at the cafe, that old photo on your wall. Mix it with the story you just read online. That TikTok trend you love but wish had more depth. Flip it into a sketch with a soul. That's creativity. It's not making something from nothing. It's seeing everything as potential building blocks. When you remove the pressure to be original, you get to actually be free. Let's go deeper. Every great film, book, startup, poem, invention, you name it, was born from a recombination of what already existed. Apple didn't invent computers. It redesigned them. Instagram didn't invent photography. It made sharing it effortless. Shakespeare didn't invent love stories. He told them like no one else did. You don't need to wait until you're inspired. You just need to look around you, pick up pieces, rearrange, reimagine. This isn't laziness. It's intelligence. This is what Jung meant when he explored individuation, the process of becoming a whole integrated self. Because when you accept that everything in the world is part of you and you are part of it, you stop trying to force creativity and you just start playing with what's already here. So, here's a practice. It might sound too simple to work, but it might just be the missing link between you and your creativity. Sit down alone. Don't try to be creative and don't try to make anything happen. Just look around. Stare out the window. That's it. Let your eyes wander. Don't control them. Let them drift like water. You'll see a street, maybe a parked car, or the rust stain dripping down the side. You'll notice a woman walking her dog. She's wearing 2 different socks. Did she notice? Did she even care? The sky might be a kind of grey that doesn't even deserve a name. A beige grey, a dishwater kind of sky. There's a man standing outside a corner store scratching a lottery ticket like he's trying to erase his whole past. You hear the soft crunch of tires rolling over wet leaves. And then suddenly a bug crawls across your windowsill. Tiny, almost invisible. And for a moment that little insect becomes your entire universe. You watch its legs work like a machine. It stops, moves, stops again. You wonder where it's going. You feel something. Not profound, just alive. Observing, noticing, feeling the world exist. Now open a notebook or the Notes app on your phone and just write what you see. No editing, no goal, no art to make. Just describe. Write as it flows. For example, the bus passes. Everyone looks like they're going nowhere fast. I feel slow today, like my brain is 2 seconds behind my body. There's a boy eating candy with his mouth open, and I hate the sound of it. But I also envy his simplicity. I want to chew without worrying how do I look or how do I sound. A woman is crying behind sunglasses. I pretend I didn't notice, but I did. I feel sad, too, but in a quieter way. I wish the sky would pour just so someone else could cry with me. That's intuitive writing. That's unfiltered creativity. You're not trying to make sense or meaning. You're finding meaning in what you see. It's not about art. It's about presence. And in that presence, you'll start to notice your emotions slipping into what you write. You'll see a plastic bag caught in the wind. And suddenly, it's not just trash. It's you caught between where you were and where you're going. You'll watch the neighbor's dog dig a hole, and it'll remind you of the way you keep burying your own voice. This isn't poetry, but it is. Every time you write without judgment, you're making space for your unconscious to speak. This is what Jung meant when he spoke of integrating the unconscious, not with force, but with attention. You're not trying to be creative. You're simply witnessing. And from that witnessing, creation begins. So try this. Spend 15 minutes a day doing nothing but watching and writing. No prompt, no plan. Just what do I see? How does it feel? What memory does it stir? Even boredom can be beautiful when you let it speak. And that's where the real shift happens. Because the moment you stop trying to come up with something, you discover you've been surrounded by inspiration all along. The world isn't silent. You just needed to listen differently. And now let's talk about something that turns your creativity into something more than just expression. Let's talk about purpose. Because the final spark, the one that connects your inner world with the outer world, is understanding human needs. Not just what's trending, not just what people will click, but the deep primal unspoken needs we all carry. Carl Jung spoke of archetypes, universal patterns of behavior, roles, energies like the mother, the rebel, the caregiver, the seeker. Each of these archetypes is driven by core human needs to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel seen, to grow, to belong, to matter. Now, here's the wild part. Every truly creative idea that resonates with people is meeting one of these needs. Look around at the things that move you. That song you've had on repeat, it's not just the melody. It's because it made you feel understood. That video that went viral, it wasn't just clever. It spoke to a deep fear, a longing, or a dream we've all had. That product that exploded in popularity, it wasn't new. It solved something people didn't even know they were struggling with. So if you ever feel like I don't know what to create, shift the question. Ask, what do people need right now? Not just in the market, but in their hearts. Here's a secret. You can use creativity to feed people emotionally and spiritually. Your video might give someone a sense of control when the world feels chaotic. Your story might make someone feel less alone in their heartbreak. Your poem might name the pain someone didn't know how to speak. Your tool, your idea, your post. It might be a bridge between someone's confusion and their clarity. And suddenly what you create isn't just content. It is connection, medicine. It gives meaning. And you didn't need to invent a whole new universe. You just had to listen to what this one is quietly asking for. Let's make it practical. Say you want to create a project, but you're unsure where to start. Try this. Write down 5 basic human needs. Things like to feel heard, to feel safe, to belong, to be inspired, to laugh or play. Now ask, how can I create something, anything that gives someone one of those? If you make someone laugh, you've just met their need for lightness. If you show someone their struggle is universal, you've just met their need for connection. If you express your truth with honesty, you might give someone else the courage to express theirs. And that's how you make your creativity matter without trying to make it big or impressive. You serve the need, the rest follows. So let's bring this full circle. Carl Jung taught us that the journey of becoming whole is the journey of becoming creative. Creativity is not something you do. It's something you allow. It flows when you stop trying to impress. It grows when you include your whole self, including your shadow. It thrives when you stop chasing originality and start rearranging what's already here. And it touches lives when you recognize that what you make can meet a need. You don't need to be special or perfect. You just need to be honest and present. You can even be honest how hard it is for you to be honest. If this video has sparked something inside you and you're ready to explore more of what's real, raw, and spiritually grounded, subscribe to Fractal Wisdom. We don't just talk about creativity. We explore what it means to be fully human. And if you stayed till the end, thank you. Now go make something real, no matter how messy, small, or uncertain. Because somewhere someone needs exactly that.